We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure our blessings of liberty to ourselves and to our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. This document was written over 200 years ago by the founding fathers of our nation. It was written to provide Americans with the basic rights of human beings and the privileges of being an American in this country. There's been a lot of talk lately about whether or not to scrap the old Constitution and rewrite a new one that's more up to date and more with our time. I do not believe that the Constitution should be rewritten, regardless of its age or regardless of the time period it was written in. It was written to form basic rights for Americans. It was accompanied by the Bill of Rights exercised by Americans every day in this country. They're basic rights. They're not extravagant. They're not in depth. They are basic rights for we as Americans to live by, and protects we as Americans of our rights, of what we can and cannot do in our own country. These rights were not meant to be adjusted. They are the bare bones of our nation. They were built upon. They were made to be that bare so they can be built upon by generation after generation after generation to adapt to the changing times. They were not meant to be satisfactory for a time period and then to be rewritten completely for the next. They were written this way and left room for us as generations progress to adapt, to move with the times but still keep those same basic values. Yes, we still have the right to bear arms, but now there have been laws to instill permits in order to own one, in order to carry one. This is how the Basic Bill of Rights in the Constitution was written. The Constitution was also written in order to keep the balance of government and the people. It wasn't meant to give the government all the power to control its country. It was meant and built and designed very strategically in order to keep the government in check and to leave its citizens to do most of the decision making by voting in political office. Just because the times are changing does not mean that we have to change the Constitution. It was written 200 years ago. It survived 200 years of war, of terror, of ungodly events. And still, we have always turned back to the Constitution. As Americans, we have always exercised those Bill of Rights that we were granted when we came to this country. I know a lot has changed in the past few decades. New officials have been in office, new laws have been made, but that does not change the base in which this country was built on. It only makes that foundation stronger. The Constitution was established after the country had been through war, terror, anything and everything you can even imagine. And though it was hard and it was very difficult, the country managed to come together and write this document. And several individuals who were very prominent in history signed this document because they believed that what was written on here was right. And it was right enough that it would carry this country for generations and years to come and keep the country united as one as it's written in the Constitution. So no, this document should stay as it is, and it will continue to serve the rights and the liberties of each and every American born on this soil.